Alright, we'll begin this video with the conclusion of the artillery barrage by the Russians. And unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera, but these are the last two batteries. They're only 1 unit apiece. And they were actually looking this way, straight ahead, but you're able to pivot your guns on around, so we pivoted them this way. Took an aim at this group. Declined to shoot at the low profile, hard to hit artillery unit. Declined to aim at the units in line because we get a better modifier as artillery firing guns at these men in column. Unfortunately for the Russians, they had a bunch of low rolls. This roll here in particular went with the last unit over here up on this hill. There was actually a plateau and he's on a hill on the hill. He took a shot at the column with the leader. And he came up that last roll with a 2. So the Russian artillery barrage, thankfully, from the French point of view, went out with a whimper. So all the guns have fired, and French have suffered about 800 casualties, which, to be honest with you, said and done, with all that, could have been a lot worse. The worst part about it is inflicting all those casualties and not being able to give any to the Russians. So that's a major hit right there. We're done with the firing cube. Firing cube is right there. Now there could be another cube drawn, another firing cube, and it'd be another round of fire. So you never know how it's going to go. But as it is, hope the Russians got it in. Old Bensington or Benningsen. Yeah, you had yours. Do what you could. Now it's a lot of there's a lot of French cubes in there. They had a 2-to-1 advantage to the Russians now. French have had 4 pulled of their 14, and the Russians have had 3 of their 7. So, yeah, might be all French. Although there are some safeguards. If it gets too lopsided, the French could lose all their cubes. So we will clear off the board. Casualties have been taken, and again, with all the casualties taken, there was no units lost, so no adjustments on the Army fatigue levels. There you go. We'll be right back after Benningsen's artillery barrage. All right, ready for our next cube draw in this game. Continuation of hour number 1. I'd say about, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 24 minutes, maybe. Okay, here we go. Hour number 1, 24 minutes. A lot has happened, and all depends on the cube draw. Should all be blue. See if they beat the odds. There you go. All right. Well, the only thing about this is the orders are locked. We're on strategic move, and a lot of these boys have moved already. It is what it is. We will look through here. I think we have the 3rd Division, or we could go ahead go over here with the Cavalry Reserve 4th Corps. Okay, I see over here all these units here have only had 1 movement, so the only one that's really pressed it has been who is that? The Markov Division. These boys here about, I wouldn't say exhaustion, but fatigue limits. They're close to it, so there you go. They've been trudging around in the snow, which they'll wear you out in a heartbeat. So there you go. Let's find out where and how the French answer with that big barrage. Now, the guard. I'll have to look and see it from out them. They are on a hold, and I believe a hold you can't do anything. Defend you can move 1, hold you can't move any. So we might have to, I don't know if we change them, but looking at them right now, I guess that was not a good order for a hold. They should all have been defense. They could have moved at least 1, but it is what it is. We'll find out who gets the cube. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to give the rider, the messenger, the orders, and have him ride out to 4th Corps, Cavalry Reserve, and, wrong general, Joseph St. Joseph, I think is who that is. Alright, now they are on strategic moves, which means they'll get an enhanced movement, but they are fatigued, and they will suffer a 2 movement point penalty for cavalry. Ouch. We'll figure it all in, and we'll be right back. We're going to move our cavalry. We got to figure out what we want to do here. Our key thing here is we want to get these units in square, so we can take advantage of these units attacking a square. With it's all about modifiers. If we head up, we wanted to head them up this way, but that ain't doing nothing about getting these boys here in square. For the hammer and anvil to work, you have to come around, hammer these guys from this side, and get my infantry here from this side. So I think what we're going to do is, by the way, strategic movement is a 1.5 for each movement point, enhanced. So that 8 is actually a 6. Enhanced with strategic movement makes it a 9, so you can move 9 movement points. I want to get these boys close to within 3 hexes, where these units here have to do a square check, or I have to attempt to get in square. So then you have to think again, with this being a one-person operation. And like the whole Rolling Stone song goes, I'm just waiting on a friend. So, yeah, we're playing it by ourselves. So what we're going to do is, I think but that's the only thing. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, it'd be precarious having that infantry here, or that cavalry here, but it would trigger these boys, and then maybe attempting a square. Not knowing if we're going to charge them or not. When they're in square, that's what we want when these boys here come against them. Get the cavalry to swing around. I mean, a lot of cubes, but we got the cubes to do it. We got to remember, though, we've had 1 cube drawn already, and if we get more than 3 cubes drawn, it is an automatic Russian cube. And if it comes down to just 1 color, if say which just the next is 4 Russian cubes, then all the French cubes are forfeited. So, yeah, we'll have to see what goes on with our. You don't want to. In other words, you don't want to get too elaborate some of these plans. I think I'm going to skip moving the cavalry here. And we're going to just swing it on wide and avoid, maybe. We have to stay within. These boys here can attempt to square up if this cavalry gets within 3 hexes. So we got to stay outside of square attempting range, if you get my drift. So we got to be stay 4 hexes away from any of these units, and we have 9 hexes we can move. Okay, with strategic movement and a 2-point penalty, that's where I got. It's the furthest I can go, and I had to stay within over 3 hexes to keep these boys from attempting a square formation. Although now in the next turn, albeit if we do decide to head to them, the first hex we hit, they can roll for square. So, and it gets less effective the closer we get. So they got their best chances on our first move towards them. But right now, they don't know what we're doing. We're swinging on around. That is their second activation. So they're getting towards the quite fatigued side. There you go. Get ready for our next cube draw. More French. Now, do we press the issue? I mean, he's going to be down to. Oh, how many will that be? Zoom feature. What is that? 3 movement points or 4? Looks like 4 to me. Let me see here. Get closer. -4 movement points, but our movement will be enhanced by a 1.5 still. But yeah, that'll be it. But we could get ourselves ready. It might be the thing to do. We have a bunch of movements coming up. Oh, I think I might want to get the 4th Corps Cavalry Reserve in position. Then in our next cube, move these boys up. If we could start eliminating some units, that would help. Unfortunately, this is not a victory point hex. But I'm sure these boys might want to come to the rescue, but I think it'll be too late. by the time we maul the Russian Markov division. Cube will go to, we're going to press the issue and wear these boys out until next hour. 4th Cavalry Reserve. Level 4. Alright, well this will be the 4th Corps Cavalry Reserves legal second activation. Meaning that they have to remain 5 hexes away from the enemy. Can't get no closer than that while getting that extra strategic movement bonus. Now they get one more activation, but with this one, it'll be -4 from the movement point, but they get 1.5 extra per movement point. So let's see here. This unit's 8 will be a 4, and that which strategic movement will be a 6. So all 8s can move 6 in this final movement. We'll be right back, and again, having to stay acquired 5 hexes away. Alright, well after further review, we will be in violation of the rule if we even move 1 hex. We have to stay 5 hexes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only way we can go around it is going through the woods, and woods is a violation of cavalry. They can't only enter a wooded hex via the road, so we're stuck. So the last cube will not be given to the 4th Cavalry Reserve. We'll have to give it to another unit. We'll find that out right now, but there you go. According to the rules, that is as good as it can get. Gotta stay 5. Wanted to get around them, we won't be able to do that. Oh, yeah, not like the laws of the laws of battle to get in the way of a good plan. So there you are. We still have to find out where to give this cube to. We're going to take a little break because we've done moved these units about 5 or 6 times, but that is the legal final movement. Wanted to get it around one more time, but like I said, can't get through these woods. I can't get any closer than 5 hexes of strategic movement. All right, we'll be back. Now, one thing that we could have done, though, we can do, is unlimber this artillery unit and have a little shot. I think we already had our shot. Our roll was 7, unmodified with 2, and that won't do nothing. So we'll go ahead and play by the rules, and we already shot. Took an aim at him and came up short. All right, that'll be it. We come back, find out who we give the cube to. Might be time to move these men. They can get within 1 hex. So there you go. They have a regular movement order. We're back. Bunch of options on this next cube. And we wanted to keep this a reminder. This is our 2nd cube draw. We get 1 more cube draw, then automatically we keep on drawing the cubes until we get to the Russians. And then when the Russians are out of cubes, they have 7, which means they have 4 more. All the cubes are forfeited by the French, so kind of hope Lady Luck works our way. Options. Can't really, I mean, we could give it to him, but he can't go nowhere. He's stuck, so they're locked in. Cannot go anywhere but around this area here, but that'd just be pulling their pud for stupidity. No reason for them. I mean, they're good there. These units here. That's almost what we're going to do. We're going to press the issue, I think, and go for get ready for the attack on Markov. We can maul his, the Russian right wing. We do have reinforcements coming on this edge next hour. Or give the cube here and keep this 4th Corps kind of together. But I don't really. I want to get these guys in position before anything's drawn. Now again, we don't know it, but the Russians really can't do nothing but move 1 hex if they're in defend. A lot of these units are in hold, they can't do nothing. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead, and we are in a good position to swing around to his left flank over here. But like I said, I want to press the issue, so I think we're going to go ahead and give this cube to, it is Laval. Yeah, Laval, and his units are all in column. They're going to move and get in position for the next hour's order, so we'll be right back. Alright, 2nd Division, 4th Corps, getting their 2nd. They'll be moving with a 1 movement point penalty for infantry. So 6 becomes a 5, 7, 6, etc., etc. I'll show you what we do with 2nd Division, 4th Corps. Laval, after his move order. Kind of a cockamamie little formation there, but it's all we could do with our movement points that we had. We do have units behind the line units that are in column that can get a little bit of extra movement. I wanted to face it more over here where our weaker units are. But there you go. We have this unit here, it's still in column, but here it is some pretty strong line units versus their line units. Always keep in mind on our rear, but gotta do what you gotta do on this one. Artillery being limbered and lagging behind. That is the looks of it after our last cube draw. We got one more cube draw. If it's a blue cube, that will be the limits of the French draws. Then we'll keep on drawing until we hit a Russian cube. One of the rules of the game. So this will be a last chance for the French initiative. And they should get it because they outnumber them, as we said, 2-1. We got one right here. What do we got here? Russian, French, or fire? All right, well, the Russians are there, so this starts all over. We don't have to worry about any more counts on the French cube. We could start anew and get up to 3 activations. First, we have to find out what's going on with the Russians. Take a break. We'll find out what they want to do. That's definitely good luck. Good luck, fairy. We'll be right back. All right, we got an interesting conundrum because the Russians with this cube, it's their turn to move, and the old Markov boy here is under a Russian strategic move order, which means he's in violation because under his orders he can't be within 5 hexes of the enemy. So does that mean that he has to now use this cube to get within unviolation, which means he's got to move within 5 hexes? I believe that's what we're going to do. Yeah, he's no other Russian unit is under strategic move order. They're either in defend or hold. Hold means they can't do nothing. Defend means they can at least move 1. But yeah, Markov's got to get out of there because he's got orders that he cannot be within 5 hexes of the French. Right now, we're going to hold off on that. It is a nice holiday weekend. We got a outside bonfire with our name on it, and graham crackers, Hershey's chocolate bars, and marshmallows. So, yep, I promised a beautiful wife that we would have a nice night out by the fire tonight, so we're going to enjoy it, turn on deck lights, and enjoy us a night out by the fire. When we come back, old Markov has to vacate and pull back. We're back. All right, well, after way too much contemplation, it's been a couple days. It's been a busy weekend. I worked all holiday weekend. This is Monday night. So yeah, we had a lot of good work in. It was a good weekend to work. And we're ready to maybe go to work tomorrow, maybe another day, and then we're going to take a couple days off. But till then, I've been thinking about my little cube draw here. We have been giving it to the 4th Division. We've given it to the 5th Division. We gave it to Markov Division, even moved Markov until I found out. Well, here's the deal with Markov. I don't know how much of this I've got on other videos, but he is under a strategic move order. And earlier, I was under the impression that no matter what, he had to move. But now I've kind of changed my mind. If we give him the order, then he has to move strategically. We're gonna leave him be. We ain't tell him to do nothing, so he can stay there. But we were under the impression that he had to move because he was under strategic order, which I moved his men all the way up here, but we're taking that back. He don't have to move unless he's given the order. Now, if he's given the order to do what his order says, the strategic move, then he's got to be 5 hexes away for all these units. So yeah, we were thinking he was under some kind of commitment to move, but the more I thought about it, the more I don't think that was the right interpretation of the rule. If we send a messenger out to him and tell him to carry out his order, and he's under a strategic move order, he would have to be at least 5 hexes from the enemy. But he's not going to give that order because we want him to stay there, so he's fine. Alright, well, the cube is going to go to 3rd Division. And he is under defend order also, so all these units here. Ooh, 3rd Division starts here. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see here 8th and 3rd. This little line here, and then these units are all going to move 1 hex. That's all they can do is move 1 hex, but we're going to move those guys out. So, Russian block placed on the 3rd Division. Now, with them being in defend and only to move 1 hex, this penalty really don't come into play. We'll be back. Alright, 3rd Division under. Ooh, let's try this one. Second. Oster. I don't know what the rest of that would be. Oster second. So there you go. And he is in command of 3rd Division. And like I said, they just moved up a little bit. Now I do want to make note that our units we had garrisoned with these artillery units and moved forward. So the artillery units by themselves and still above, up on the ridge, able to fire over these units here that have just lowered themselves in elevation down the bottoms. There you go. Everybody moved at least, I think, 1 hex. There you go. 8th, 3rd, little cutoff line there. Hard to tell. Could have made those colors a little different. Alright, that'll be it. We're ready for another cube draw. Let's see what we got here. French poured it on with 6 cubes. And the Russians poured it back with 4. So, and 1 fire cube already pulled. Lady luck. Coming around. Now we get to start this over to countdown 3, so the French get up to 3 activations if they can pull it off. What happens here? It is the Russians. Wow. Now the Russians only have 7 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, and then we gotta go to the next hour. So, wow. We'll be right back. All right. Well, we wanted to give this cube. It's kind of a real hard decision between the 3rd Division and the Bajevo division last turn. So this turn here, we will give the cube to Bajevo again. And again, his units are in defensive position, so none of these penalties for movement points will apply, because he can at least move 1. There you go. I think Bajevo is all the way over here. We want to get these in a locking position. If these units can get into adjacent, then they're locked in, and it's going to be a lot of penalties for these French to move anymore. We want to lock them there. We don't want them getting around our flank. And also will cause the Russians to move adjacent 2 movement points, unlike the French. So the French got a better drill at getting into combat position. We will be back. Alright, defend order. I wanted to check on this. Units cannot move adjacent. So therefore, that is the extent of it. Always keeping in mind, up over this hill is this massive amount of cavalry. We can deal with them in square formation. And the only thing bad about square, the only way for these boys to beat square is to be able to surround a square with big numbers, and they get a 3-to-1 against it. But that's not going to work in these close, confined areas. So these old boys can square up real quick and make this a cavalry nightmare. So we're not really worried about that. Artillery still on the ridge and ready to go. These boys can move adjacent if they ever get the attack order next hour. That is it for the Russian cube draw. Alright, well, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes. If they draw 2 more, that'll be it. All the French will have to forfeit the rest of their cubes, because there cannot be just one color left in the bag. So let's see what goes on here, and I'll show you that rule if it comes into effect. This should be a massive French onslaught for at least, we get 3 rounds, and then we have to at least draw 1 Russian cube. So let's see what we got here. Russian, French, or fire. French. Alright, they'll take advantage of it. They've been watching the Russians for the last few minutes. Last like 10 minutes. They're ready to get it on. We'll see what we want to do. Who we're giving the cube to. Who does the message? Which general gets the messenger? We'll be right back. Alright, well, I don't know where the school of thought was when we left off. We had all kinds of options of what to do with this blue cube. But what we're going to do now is come to the conclusion. We're going to go ahead and get this attack. We're going to get this battle going on here with the Markov division. I'm going to press the issue and give these boys their 3rd cube, so they're going to be definitely petered out. But if we can get somebody over there, we got to get them within striking distance this way. And then with the Russians already having 5 cubes used, that means they only got 2 more in the bag. We're going to hopefully count our luck on French getting at least 1 or 2 more cubes, and it'll get our units in position for the assault. Now, the only bad thing about this is he's under strategic move order, so somehow I got to get 5 hexes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around this. I got to get back around here. That's almost ridiculous. We're going to do what we can do with them and try to get everybody as close as can be. It'll probably just be a matter of this line here being extended up this way, with the units still being back here, which will be these units. They have -4 movement points on their total movement point. That'd be their number on the right, so they're -4 from that number. But whatever's left, they get 1.5 points per movement point since they're in strategic movement. So they'll still get more than half their movement range. But I think that's what we're going to do, is give this cube to 4th Corps Cavalry. And that'll be it for this hour. You'll have to wait for the next bag draw, next full bag, next turn before they move. They're moving with a 4 movement point penalty. For example, this unit here will have a movement points of 4 and 1.5. I think that gives them a movement of 6. So you can see here, this would almost be prohibited, but luckily we got a road to get someone through there. That'll help out. We'll be back with the 4th Corps Cavalry Reserves final positions. All right, well, I think we ran into this problem earlier, but it's been, 2 or 3 days since I've come into this situation. And I think we, like I said, ran into this problem, but the Cavalry Reserve 4th Corps cannot move. That's their spot. You can't move here because cavalry can't go in the woods. There's no way around it this way in the map. The map ends. This hex here is where we got to go. Puts us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to go to this hex right here. We can't do it, so they're stuck. All right, well, our next option is going to be 2nd Division, 4th Corps. All right, 2nd Division, 4th Corps will get their move. Now, they are in a, I don't think they're in strategic move. Yeah, they're on just move, so they will have their penalty enforced, which is -2 movement points for infantry. And earlier, I think I made a mistake and said that these boys here, with their strategic movement and everything, can only move 6, or can only move 4. I think they can move 6. If he was able to move, he would be able to move 6. So that is it. We're going to move these men into position, and then hopefully draw some more blue cubes. We'll be back. All right, then. 2nd Division, 4th Corps under Laval. That is it. Some units didn't even move, but other ones got in position. You cannot be move adjacent under the defender order, or the move order. My mistake, the move order. So there you go. That will be it for that cube. Give it a shake. And like I said, all right, it should be French initiatives all the way through, although see if we can beat the odds. We got a red cube in there and 2 more green cubes. Like I said, the rest of them are all a bunch of French. We need at least, it'd be nice to get 3 in a row if you're a French fan. Alright, there you go. And the odds, or the percentages, come through. Let me see what we want to do with him now. Can't do anything here. Might want to give him some help along the way, or continue with our move over here. We'll see what's up. We'll have to assume that we ain't going to get another cube, even though I'm pretty sure we'll get at least, well, our limit's 2 more. So there you go. Then we have to keep on drawing until we get a Russian cube. We'll be back. Alright, the decision's been made. Napoleon will send his courier on down the road. Back on the road, boy. He got lost. Like the old boys in American Werewolf in London. Stay on the road. Don't go on the moors. Down the hill and then up the hill. It'd be a long ride, boys. And finally to his destination. He will get the order to follow his orders that he was given earlier. 2nd Division, 7th Corps is under... Is that a strategic move order? I believe it is. Yeah, strategic move. So, this is where we run into this again. Not by his own doings, but under his orders, he cannot get within 5 hexes. That might be the edge of this board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's got to... These boys here are going to have to scoot on up this way. These are under strategic move orders, and 2nd Division, 4th Corps will get their next cube. Alright, that is on strategic movement. That is his 2nd cube, which means he will get a -2 movement points for cavalry. Just -1. Okay, just -1 for all his infantry. He has no cavalry with him. So all these movement points you see on there will be -1. They'll be 5. But he's under strategic movement, so that'll mean they will get 7 movement points. They're the ones that are rated to 5, so we'll get them going up around here, maintaining their required 5 hex distance from the Russians. We'll be back. Alright, well, on our first move, he's got a movement points of 9, but that is as far as he can go because the Russians got us fucked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to maintain 5 hexes, so we got to come to a screeching halt until we get different orders. But that'll be it. Let me move the rest of our units for the 2nd Division. And we'll see what they can do. Like I said, they'll be standing off. They got to have a little standoff distance-wise per orders, but we'll be ready to go. And I don't see them doing anything ridiculous. I mean, they can only move 1 under their orders now. Like I said, in a real game against another opponent, you don't know what their orders are, but we know they're all either in defend or hold. That's why, but it don't really matter here what we're doing right now. So we move the rest of these men on out, keeping their 5 hex distance. All right, just for informative purposes, each hex is 150 meters wide, and 5 times 150 meters is 840 something. So this will be 840 yards if you want to get a idea of what's going on here. So about 8.5 football fields between these guys is what the requirement is. We'll be right back. All right, excuse the loud water pipes. I don't know if all the other homes are like that. Yeah, but the sound you hear, massive sound, is washer going and water going through the pipes. Here you go. 2nd Division, 7th Corps, each unit. We kept them still in column. Now these units here could have been flipped over the line, but I want the more the movement point advantage. So we kept them all in column. This one here is still limbered. We left the 7th Corps general where he's at. Old Agaro. But because we don't want to get him too far over, because there's certain command points ranges that he needs to give orders. So as a matter of fact, we might, in our next movement, we might move him over a little bit more. So there you go. We got our 4th Corps commander there. 2nd Division of 4th Corps up here ready to go. Artillery up there that can be moved. It's cavalry, horse-drawn out artillery. There you go, that'll be it. for the next French move. We'll come back, we'll get ready for our next cube draw. Alright, French cube count is 1. If he gets more than 3, we gotta keep drawing cubes until we get a Russian cube. Sorry about the clearing of the throat. Alright, let's see here. We're down there, digging on in. We'll grab this cube here. Does this feel like a fire cube? Our Russian cube? Or will the percentages stay French? And they stay French. Alright, let's see here. Now we have at least another cube. We want to, let me see, there's 2. We can only draw 1 more French. We want to get things going on. Do we want to do the 1st Division, 4th Corps, or I think we need to get these old boys, 1st Division, 7th Corps out of the way. They got hammered. Woo! All those counters you see underneath there are loss counters to their total strength. We'll be right back. Alright, Napoleon has made his decision. And where will the courier go? Heading south. Whoa, where's he heading to? Napoleon, you son of a bitch. Oh, it looks like it may be. Can it be? Alright, don't know what's going on here. Ooh, heading amongst the cavalry. Ooh, will it be the 2nd Cuirassier or Cuirassier Division? No, it won't be. Where is he going to? 2nd Dragoon? No. 1st or 3rd Dragoon? Oh, you ain't going 3rd. Well, there you go. It will be the 1st Dragoon Division with a strategic move. There you go. Let's see how this works out. Alright, old Klein got his orders. But he is in kind of a situation because he wants to tell us the General or the Emperor. There's quite the fucking clusterfuck up here. Where am I going to go? Plus, he's got himself under 5 hex, 180 yard minimum range from the Russians. So looking at right here, it looks like he's maybe just gonna get into position, get on down here, ready to go. He'll definitely have his left side screened by these units, and if we get another cube, we might just extend it on out. But he is under the strategic move. First, say that fast 3 times. 1st Dragoons Division. We'll be back. Done 1st Dragoon Division under Klein. And there's the extent of it. Again, staying a minimum of 5 hexes away from the enemy. Getting ready to come on up. Now, what we need to do is get a couple more. There's another division on up here. We're going to call this a video because it's getting kind of long. I got to do a bunch of editing on it. And there you go. Set up. Ooh, Russians have 7 cubes in the bag. 5 have been drawn. 2 left in the bag. 1 fire cube left in the bag. French have 14 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drawn. That is the extent of the battle during our first hour. These forces here getting ready. This is it. They're locked in. They can't do nothing else right now. So that's what it's going to look like at the beginning of next hour. We still have some units we might be able to move here. Don't know if we're going to move to guard. I think they're on hold anyway, so they're prohibited from doing anything. I think the only units we can move is maybe some of these. Now, I want to go through the rules again. If you want to do the whole cavalry charge thing, you have to activate Marat, and then the next turn they can all move. That move right there with the dragoons, it might have been illegal. I'm pretty sure you can move them separately as long as you ain't moving them in a grand charge, I guess is what it is. We'll clarify that in our next video. But there you go. 1st Division needs to be moved. That's how it's going. Not quite done with the first hour. We'll conclude it probably with the next video. We'll be done. We'll be back.